All right, boys, what's going on? Welcome to today's trade recap. Today is 3/5/2026. I'll be going over today's price action along with yesterday's. I did take one trade today. It was a dub. Um, but yeah, let's go over today's price action in full. Sorry for the no trade recap yesterday. I was trying to buy these 20 Apex evals last night or midday. It was like around noon, and my bank flagged it as fraud. I got to buy 5. You have to buy them in separate transactions. So I see why it flagged it as fraud, and I got through 5 of them, and my bank locked me out of my account. So I called the bank trying to buy more, and they said my account was locked and I have to go in. I go into the fucking bank, and they're like, okay, you can either schedule an appointment for Friday or you can wait 2 hours. And I just ended up waiting 2 hours in the fucking bank because I just wanted my shit. So I didn't want to have to come back. So at that point in time, that is why I didn't end up making a recap yesterday. But anyways, there was a 2-minute long right here prior to market open. I was leaning just a little bit more bullish today coming into market open. I was pretty neutral bias, but we had this accumulation zone. We ended up manipulating. This wasn't necessarily LR because it was kind of a steep move, but we did have London highs, Asian highs above, along with this high all the way over here. So I wanted to see some form of manipulation into this 4-hour gap and then see a rejection off of it. However, we ended up sweeping out these London lows right here inside of this 15-minute bullish gap right here. And then we were also inside of this hourly fair value gap as well. So at this point in time, I'm like, okay, kind of a bullish reaction. Sorry, I had to burp. There was this 2-minute long right here that I didn't necessarily like because we kind of generated LR at our stop, and this 9:30 wick typically is just crazy volatile coming into this morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if people got stopped out on this and then price ran, but price ended up just bull running up and didn't necessarily feel like gambling market open. So there was that 2-minute right there, and then at that point in time we ended up creating a 5-minute bullish gap right here, and at this point in time this was my condition. If we ended up getting a V-shaped recovery, I would have shorted down to this 4-hour, but we ended up coming in and respecting it, as you can see right here. And we actually ended up getting a 1-minute resweep. And then with that 1-minute resweep, there was this tiny 1-minute that you guys could have took right about, not yet, right about here. And this probably would have been a break-even trade. Let's take a look at it real quick. Oh my God, I keep going the wrong way. So this is what the trade idea would have looked like, and it probably would have been a break-even trade if you're going for a 1-to-1, because you would have went break-even at the internal high. And I don't know if this would have ended up being a break-even trade. But if you guys would have held through it, obviously we ended up continuing higher and higher. And at this point in time, I'm like, okay, what are we targeting? Well, London, Asia highs. So I was then looking for another continuation. Didn't end up taking that 1 minute, and then we ended up creating a bullish or a bearish SMT with London highs right here, and we are inside of this 30-minute BPR as well. If we come to the 30-minute chart, let's see, we have 30-minute BPR right here. So this point in time I was like, okay, if we get a 5-minute inversion to the downside, I don't mind shorting. And we actually edged it by a fucking ball sack here, so I didn't end up entering off this. We had one more bullish candle, and then the very next candle ended up creating a 5-minute order block, so I went ahead and entered off of this. Okay, scale down to the 1 minute. My stops were, yeah, literally right here above that 1 minute for value gap, and my TP, since I haven't really been trading a lot, I just really wanted to aim for like a 1-to-1. This is where my TP was, and let's just go ahead and see how this played out. This looked very, very beautiful. I believe there was a 2 and 3 minute short right in here as well. That it was more of like a discretionary play, but like I said, I like to wait for the highest time frame version. There was a lot of people that got cooked. I think it was yesterday or the day prior where there was like a 2-minute right at market open, but the 1 minute closed, and a lot of people entered off the 1 minute, and then the 2 minute ended up getting respected. So I wanted to wait for the highest time frame inversion, waited for that. We had the 5-minute order block, whatever. And then, yeah, price ended up dumping. And I ended up full closing right about here at this low, because at this low is when ES took low of day. So I was like, okay, we have this giant bullish value gap, giant bullish SMT. And yeah, so I wanted to stay out the market. And that was really it for today. It was actually pretty clean price action. Like I said, this 2-minute long, this 1 minute long, and then this 5-minute short right here. They all looked pretty good. Rejecting the 30-minute BPR. And then regarding yesterday, so I was actually leaning pretty bullish going into yesterday. We were just disrespecting a whole bunch of bearish speed arrays and respecting a whole bunch of bullish speed arrays. As you can see, here's the hourly right here. I believe we were respecting a 4-hour as well, and actually we created it. We didn't end up tapping into it, but we had this 1-hour gap right here, and then right at market open we were kind of accumulating, and then market opens and we end up just ripping up higher, sweeping out Asia highs, whatever. And then we were inside of this hourly gap right here to the left of us. We are also inside of a 15-minute. I believe we hit the 15-minute perfectly. Where is it? I guess we didn't. We ended up sweeping out Asia highs though. And then there was this 3 minute short after we took out Asia highs. And I ended up taking this, and I had a pretty quick break even. Here's a 3 minute, and I ended up going break even at this internal low right here. And as you can see, it would have been a break even trade. My trade would have looked like this if we scale down to the lower time frames. Here is what the trade idea would have looked like right here. Right, here's my entry, really quick break even, and my targets were somewhere down here. However, we ended up just continuing higher and higher and higher. And at this point in time, I'm like, okay, well, we ended up getting a resweep. There was this 1 minute short right here as well that actually didn't look bad at all. And this would have been a quick break even trade as well. And if you guys would have entered on M and Q, you probably would have got stopped out. This is what the trade idea would have looked like. You probably would have got stopped out because M and Q, I don't believe, ended up taking out. Yeah, here's the low right here. It didn't end up taking out the low, but NASDAQ did. So this is very important as to why you guys need to be paying attention to NASDAQ. And it ended up failing immediately. So that is why you guys have to literally be paying attention to NASDAQ, because NASDAQ is literally the actual asset. M and Q is micro NASDAQ. But at this point in time, we just ended up continuing higher and higher. Sorry, I don't know why I'm out of breath right now. And then we ended up getting this 5 minute short right here, which is beautiful. So we had 50% in the range right here. Okay. Immediate V-shaped recovery off of this. We ended up sweeping on New York PM high. These relatively equal highs right here. I know they ended up getting swept out with this candle right here, but they're still equal. It only got swept out by maybe a tick. So I mean, I was just counting them as equal highs. We ended up tapping into this 15 minute right here, and I believe we ended up hitting this 15 minute perfectly. No, we ended up missing that. But there was this 5 minute short, and oh my god, excuse me. This is what it would have looked like. Literally just a 1-to-1 trade idea. Stops like above here, and then if you want to target a 1-to-1, this is, oh, that's my timer to get off the charts. This is what it would have looked like right here. So depending on how good your fill was, it probably would have been a break even or a 1-to-1. Maybe if you took partials, and it ended up reversing. We ended up continuing higher, and then at this point in time, it was kind of just chop. We ended up going sideways. There was another 5 minute short right here, but it was kind of invalid because we were still respecting the secondary 5 minute. Let's see what ends up happening. You guys could enter somewhere like this, stops above this first fair value gap, and if we truly were bearish, we probably would have just continued to flush down something like this. And as you guys can see, we ended up just reversing and chopping the rest of the day. But yeah, if you guys took this 1 minute short, I know I got a lot of questions about this in the Discord. Where is it at? 10:03. You guys just have to be paying attention to NASDAQ. We should be flushing through this low right here if we truly are bearish. Little bit of ASMR for you guys. But yeah, other than that, that was really it for yesterday as well. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you guys want 50% off on Lucid Trades, code LoeGpa. I'll leave a link in the description for that as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Like I said, any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I'll see y'all boys tomorrow.